class, and they have the issue. So here's the funny thing. It turns out that we may have the issue with um, the Zoom, given that we were given about from what I'm looking at, maybe 14-week license, and that includes, of course, week 8, which we had in the engagement week. So it's a little bit off. So I do apologize for that, but I did make means on it. And again, I'm not taking any attendance marks for this particular class, so have no fear. Okay. What you do have a fear on is, I would say 4 things, especially if you're in the 003 class of mine. Okay. You have about 4 things that are on the table, and they do take a lot of marks. So the 4 things that we have are as follows. You do have a test for me, and it's a back-to-back test. Okay. So what we're going to do is the Monday that we're together, I'm going to give you test number 1. From what I know, test number 1 is number 1 lockdown browser, and number 2, it is a test that you will have that will most likely be multiple choice and true and false. Okay. Your goal, of course, is that you need to answer it, you need to complete it, get it to me on time, and then finish it. I'm going to give you most of the class to complete it, but please make sure that you will be there. Okay. And I will remind you guys on Sunday about the test, so that on Monday you will be ready. Okay. Please, number 1, make sure that your system is ready. Please make sure you have the lockdown browser. Please make sure you have everything together. Please make sure that nothing is left aside, because if it is, it will be a problem. Okay. And I don't want to give you guys any problems. Okay. I want you guys to do really well, and I want you guys to finish with good marks. Okay. So please make sure to complete everything on time, give it to me, and then you will be good to go. Okay. And that is Monday. Then we come back again on Wednesday, and we have the same thing. Wednesday, we have another test. Okay. And that test is more of a writing word writing thing. Okay. I'm going to tell you what to do. I would recommend that you download all your materials, and you will have them ready. Now, here's the good part. Okay. In those 2 tests, I will be live. I will be ready to help you guys, but please make sure that you will complete it. Please make sure that you will be a part of it. Please make sure that this will be a big issue, and please make sure that you will be you will be attending the class. Okay. It's very imperative that you do so. Very important. And I hope that you guys will hopefully attend it and make the most of it. Okay. So that's going to be next. Now, the things that I have for you guys is, as you guys know, the case study was due. Okay. I'm going to go look at it, mark it, hopefully this week if I have time, and then give you back some response on it. Okay. That's number 1. Number 2 is that I'm going to also request that you guys submit your group work. Okay. Make sure 2 things. Make sure that I've talked to a couple of individuals. Some people are not responding, and that's a heartbreak. Okay. And if this is a problem, then I'll pick it up with the individuals. But please make sure whoever you're working with, whichever team you're working with, that everybody contributes and everybody will put their name on the cover page. Okay. Either slide number 1 or the cover page. I need it. When I mark you guys, if there's no name, if your leader forgot about it, I cannot mark it. Okay. I don't have the information. Okay. And there is not much I can do here. Okay. So please make sure that you give me the information, you submit it to me, and that you're good to go. Okay. And the last thing I want to hear is somebody replying to me after April 21st and telling me, hi, sir, I got a 0. I was in that group. How come that group got this mark and I got this mark? Your name was not on the paper, okay? And why was it not on the paper? I'm not sure. And if I have to go back into it, what I do a lot of times is that I average it out. That means that if the group got like, 85%, and that student got 0, it's gonna be in the middle, okay? It won't be pretty. So please remember to work on it. Remember to focus on it and get it tomorrow. Okay, so I would say by next week, you have the 2 tests back to back. You have our class and the final group work, and then you're done. Okay, any questions? Good, I guess. All right. So I will repeat it at the end of our class, but what I want to do right now is I want to talk primarily about some of the areas that we talked about. And oh, by the way, I forgot one more thing. Please give me a reflection, 1-page reflection about the class. What you thought about it, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. I don't care. Okay, if you didn't like me, go ahead and tell me. Okay, I want to hear it. I like criticism, good and bad criticism. But I want to hear about it. Okay, I want to hear what's going on, and let me know about a little bit about reflections. Okay, because I want to see how you guys adapted, how you guys adjusted, and hopefully how you took things to the next parameter. Okay, so we talked this week about operation management. Operation management complements a lot of things. We talked last week about structure in a company, and structure helps us understand who to report to, who to delegate to, and of course, HR, which was 2 weeks ago, told us who to hire, who to train, who to make sure they're up to date, and how to keep things stable. Now, the good part here is that when you look at these 2 areas of interest, now, the other interest is that we have a situation in which whenever we look at a company, we want to see the company can succeed, okay? And when a company succeeds, we talk about sustainability, okay? And a lot of times to be sustainable as a company, it's really hard, okay? Many companies, they try to be sustainable, but in a result, what happens here is they end up losing. They end up, faltering from bankruptcy to loss of customers, loss of shares. Something's going to happen. Okay, we know it. So what we want to do and what we want to talk about here is understand a little bit more about how to kind of weave around it. Okay, how to work around the situation in which, in some cases, we want to figure out how we can succeed and what kind of roles can we do to succeed in it. Okay, so what we have looked on, and I'm just going to skip the learning objective, we looked at operation management. Okay, and a lot of times you have input either for goods and services. Okay, we transform this information into products and services. And for example, I gave you the example of our class. Okay, so if you look carefully here, we use capital, which we have money in the school, information systems like Zoom and the internet and LMS systems. And we use some materials here and there like computers and so forth. And then we transform this idea into a service. And the goal is to give you education. Okay, so a lot of times the biggest problem we have is the quality. Okay, and one of the biggest issues that we deal with in operation management is how do we control the quality? Okay, how do we make sure that teachers are certified? How do we make sure that the quality is up to date? How do we make sure that customers, which inevitably is the students, how do we make sure that they're satisfied? Okay, and there's a lot of things we do. Okay, for one of them, and I just want to show raise of hands. Who's seen the survey for this class and other classes? Has anyone done the survey? No. Okay. There's a survey going on. Okay, and the survey also affects our class. And the reason we have a survey, we want to make sure that the quality of the class is to your standard, to your liking. Okay, and there are going to be problems. Okay, some teachers are really going to be difficult. They're gonna be challenging. Other teachers, they're gonna be easy. You're gonna love them, okay? And then I'm in the middle. And a lot of times when we look at the transformation, what happens a lot of times is that the transformation is that you get service, and some people like the service, some people don't. Okay, and what happens is that some people will complain about it. Okay, will say, listen, I really did not like the service. The service was not good, and as a result, what happens here is that we decided that it should have been better. The question that I'm going to ask you is, how can we make this class much better? Okay, and the answer is, it could be a lot of things. Maybe having a class live, maybe having a class with a night teacher, maybe having the class done even faster. It could be a lot of things. But the problem is that everybody will have their opinions and nobody will give us a good around answer. Okay, so to compete with other companies, and other companies are like Durham College, Centennial, Georgia Brown, Sheridan, private colleges, universities, we all compete. Okay, and what we have to do is convert our resources, material, labor, money, information into goods and services as efficiently as possible. So the upper level management, not myself, not upper level, but upper level than me, they direct the transformation of the process, and it's called operation management. Okay, so the job of operation managers is to consist all of the activities involved in transforming a product idea into the finished product. The finished product, of course, is our classes, and when you get your marks, your credit, your diploma, okay, that you can show and say, hey, I got my qualification, and then start laughing on me that you guys are driving the Bentleys and the Mercedes, and I'm still driving my Hyundai. Okay, but nonetheless, of course, all activities are involved in transforming the product idea, and as a result, because of the complexity of organizations, all the activities in an organization is more important than ever for operation management to ensure due diligence is utilized in the structure as well. Okay, so what happens here is that when you look at operation management, especially in manufacturing, what occurs here is that you have raw materials coming in. Okay, so the cotton, the sewing, the dye, the washing, the labeling of the item, and this will all cost us $2.75 per shirt. We manufacture it, so it means that manpower goes in, the technology, the infrastructure, and so forth, and then distributing it will cost us 50 cents. So when you look at the whole list here, that's 10, 11, 1. That will cost us clearly over about, give or take, $6 something. Okay, so what I'm saying to you guys is that when you look at the price of an item, okay, on top of that, it costs us $6 just to manufacture per shirt. Okay, but then to distribute it based on how much we make, it's 50 cents, and then between about $7 or $8 of manufacturing the shirt to bring it to the final location, which is $50. There's so many different hands, agents and commission, and insurance and their overhead and so forth. So the final markup will be about $50, but to get there, there's a different chain that goes in, and that's the supply chain identifies transforming ideas into value and the value chain, and as a result, it will represent a proportion of final sales of the goods and services that can be met. Okay, so what occurs with operation management is that an operation manager has to make decisions on this matter. Okay, operation manager is making decisions involved in the effort to attain the operational organization of its goals, and their responsibility can be grouped as the following. The first one is production planning on the far left side. Production planning is that their responsibility is that during the production planning, managers determine how goods will be produced, where production will take place, and how manufacturing facilities will be laid out. Then you have production control, and production control is that the process is underway. Managers must continually schedule and monitor the activities that make up the process, and they must solicit and respond to feedback and make adjustments where it's needed. At that stage, they will oversee raw materials and handling of inventory to make sure we're up to par. And we have to make sure that every product we make, because we're not just making one shirt, we're making hundreds, thousands, millions of shirts, okay? We want quality, okay? We want quality control, okay? So operation managers are directly involved in the effort to ensure that goods are produced according to specifications and quality standards, okay? So what occurs here is that when you look at production process, there's a lot of different considerations you have to take in, okay? The first one, of course, is what we call the production method decisions. And this stage of the goods is to decide on what to make it, okay? A lot of times you can make to order, okay? And make to order is that things like furniture and clothing, they're made individual practices and various crafts, okay? Make to order means there's an order, you make it, and you fulfill it. Then there comes mass production, okay? We live in the mass production era, okay? Where we make so much goods, we justify it, and we put it on the shelves so that you will come in, either to a mall, to a store, to a grocery, and purchase it, okay? So based on forecast, based on demand, based on customer needs, they will produce it, but not everybody gets the same thing, okay? So the goal here is that stores will benefit from mass production, and the idea of mass production is a relatively new concept for us because you're producing goods that's been introduced and mass produced. We call it make to stock strategy. And the practice here is that you're producing high volume of identical goods at low cost, and you're justifying the low cost enough to price them at a large number of items to the customers. And goods are made in anticipation of future demand, okay? So we're making it in one country, making it ahead of time, and the goal is we're trying to justify making it all together. And between mass production and make to order, you also have a situation there that you have what we call mass customization, okay? Mass customization is when customers will put it lightly that they accept the standard product as they come off the assembly line, and customers are looking for a product that is designed to accommodate individual taste, individual needs that can be bought at a reasonable price, okay? To meet the demands of these consumers, many companies have turned to the approach called mass customization, and it combines advantages of customized products with those of mass production, okay? So when you think about, for example, the product I give you of education, can I customize your classes? And the answer might be, yes, I could. Okay, I could customize it for everybody. The problem is that if I customized it, the time we have together from 10:30 to 12:30, I don't think I can fulfill it altogether. Okay, it will be taking me forever. Okay, so mass customization has a downside, okay? And a downside, unfortunately, is that I cannot customize for every student. Every semester, I have roughly about 400 students. Send me an email sometimes, I cannot customize what you're asking me, okay? Some students are asking me for extra time that may not be available. Some students are asking me for specifications, maybe to make their own assignment. I cannot do that, okay? So what I do is I mass produce it, okay? And the goal is I can customize it a little bit here and there, but not to everybody, okay? So even, I've had, an opportunity to teach, students, international students. I had the opportunity to teach domestic students. And if I do not challenge the domestic students, they may be bored. If I challenge everybody in the class, okay, then unfortunately some students will be left out, okay? So a lot of times when you hear our conversation, I don't use a lot of heavy words, okay, because I want to accommodate, okay? But also it may slow me down, okay? And then, when you ask me to accommodate, another language and another, theory, it becomes a little bit problematic. So the idea of managing the production process is that the production process is acquiring the materials and services to be used in production, and we call that procurement. Okay, a lot of times you purchase the item that you need, and you want to make sure that there's available. So if you're working at a restaurant, you want to purchase the meat, the vegetables, the plates, everything ready, so that when you open, you're not going to be out of stock. Okay. So there needs to be a form for operation managers for inventory control and just-in-time production. Okay. And a lot of times, in order for us to make sure that we purchase the right items, that we're on top of our game, that we deliver our products to the customer, and we have a good timeline, what many operation managers do is they make a game plan. Okay, and to make a game plan, they look at how long it takes for them to purchase the item. They look at the process, how long it takes, for example, to produce it or to make the item. And the goal here is that you want to make sure that you can do it on time. Okay. And another thing that I mentioned in our class is we have technology that we can use. So one of the most important technologies, especially in production, is something called CAD. Okay, under CAD, it enables users. So somebody in Canada can make a design and take the design, okay, and produce it digitally and work out the design problem before moving to the prototype stage. Okay, so what this allows us to do is computer aided designs allows us to look at it before we mass produce it and to share it with our manufacturers, our vendors, our customers, our retailers, whoever needs it. Okay, and then you also have computer aided manufacturing, very similar to CAD. It's a software, and it determines the steps needed to produce the components and instruct the machines that do the work. So it lets us know exactly what the output might be. And then we also have CIM, which is computer integrated manufacturing, that allows us to automate, integrate, and all aspects of the company operation, and make sure that the computer integration manufacturing system have taken the integration of the computer aided design and manufacturing to a higher level, and are in fact revolutionizing the product process. And the SIM systems will expand the capability and the CAD CAM mechanism. Okay. So when we look at operation management, okay, the idea of operation management, and we look mostly in tangible products like produced items, clothes, food we consume, products that we put in the packages and so forth. We want to make sure that we can also provide a service. Okay, so through operation planning, process, and figuring out the right facilities, an operation manager can minimize shipping costs. And often they want to locate plants very close to suppliers. So when you look at items that you purchase every day, for example, like Pepsi and bag of chips, all these items are very, very close to us. Okay, they work 24 hours. They're working overtime sometimes, and the goal is they have to fulfill your needs. Okay, and the needs are you go to the cafeteria at school. There's cans of cola that comes from the manufacturer. You go to a vending machine. There's production there. You're going to another location. All of these areas will have a planning facility for you. Okay, and we'll have the items ready. So they generally want to locate in areas with ample numbers of not only customers, but workers as well. And they naturally prefer locations where they want their families to enjoy living. They want locations where costs and resources and other expenses, land, labor, construction, utilities are very low, and taxes are very good. And of course, they also look for locations with favorable business climate. Okay. For example, local governments might offer incentive programs to open up an operation, such as a tax break or subsidiaries, and to entice them to do business in their community. So for example, you have what we call industrial zone, and that industrial zone is a zone where you do business in which you have incentives that are attractive, investments for private companies, and even in the service sector, you have designs and facilities where customers, a lot of times, they must accommodate the needs of the customers to keeping costs as low as possible, okay? So managing service operation, a lot of times, is more about efficiency of service. It's also about balancing between profitability, innovation, automation, and customer satisfaction. And associating satisfaction sometimes is referred to as the balanced scorecard. Okay, and under the balance scorecard, the idea here is that you want to get the best of the item and hopefully to achieve your goal of operation management. Okay. Another thing that I want to kind of highlight that I did not mention about service operations is that there's a forecasting need as well. Forecasting is understanding capacity planning. And unfortunately, it's hard to tell sometimes because there has to be a balanced capacity and projected demands that can be seriously detrimental to your bottom line. And if you set capacity too low and produce less than you should be able to meet demand and you'll lose sales of customers. If you set the capacity too high and turn out more units than you should, you'll waste resources and inflate operating costs. And the idea here is that you want to look at efficiency, okay? And to do so, what many operation managers look at is scheduling, okay? Scheduling means that everything has to be scheduled properly. When you are making an item in just in time, okay? Many manufacturers cannot just simply say, I feel like, manufacturing what we need, okay? If it was up to me, I feel like, teaching at, the middle of Saturday night, a course where it's not popular. Who's going to pay me for that? Who's going to go to class on that? Okay. Easily, when we look at our schedules are based on operation demands of the school. Okay. So it's based on your timeline, based on availability, on supply and demand, on capacity. Okay. You have to remember, guys, that, I've taught classes with I was a teacher. I was a teacher assistant. I was a co-teacher, they call it. I taught a class with a professor. There was over 300 students there. Okay, to meet their demands is very difficult. Okay, and we needed to make sure in operations that it went smoothly. Okay, and there were days where the teacher came in, opened a book, start speaking, close the book, left, and told them everybody this is going to be on test. And we had about 300 students that were very, very nervous. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to work with them. We have to teach them. We have to make sure that we can help them out, and especially make sure that right after the conversation, we're going to sit down with them, review, get it easy, and make sure we can do it all at the same time. Okay, so please remember, guys, that in manufacturing, we don't make an item just because we want to make an item. We make an item because there's a demand out there. Okay, so think about restaurants. Okay, if there's zero demand out there, we're just sitting with workers, they're not doing anything. But if there is a demand, then we open up the refrigerator, we take out the food, we cook for them. It takes about 10, 20, 30 minutes to cook, and then we give it to them. Okay, but we cannot just cook for invisible people. Same thing with manufacturing a car. Okay, car companies do not just wake up one day on a Wednesday and say, oh, you know what, I feel like making, a Toyota Camry. For who? Okay, you have to make it based on a demand. Okay, and a lot of times, the Toyota manufacturing plants, they rely a lot of times on three things. They rely on the dealers. So dealers need the cars, so they request them. So every dealer will request maybe 10 cars to put in their lot, and they bring in customers, and customers also are business customers. So for example, even in our school, you walk around, you see cars with the label of our college. We purchased that car as a fleet. Okay, so many companies purchase fleets, okay, and then make orders very similar to the dealers. Okay, and the last customers, of course, are the final customers, you guys. You walk in, you want a 2024 Toyota Camry, which is about to come out in the summer. Okay, you fill out the paperwork, you tell exactly what you want. Grace, she likes Toyotas. Okay, so Grace is going to buy, for example, Toyota Camry. She wants a blue car. She wants purple leather. She wants the best boombox out there. She wants hi-fi radio, everything in, and we will accommodate for it, but we have to put in a schedule. So as a dealer, I will tell Grace that she's going to come back maybe in about 3 weeks time, and a brand new car is going to be already on the lot. Okay. I cannot push Toyota to make a car for tomorrow, okay, because they have a huge bottleneck going on. They have a huge lineup going on, so it becomes a problem, okay. But also another big problem is that as an operation manager, I have to make sure that inventory is going to be there, okay. I cannot tell Grace that in the beginning of May she's gonna have a car and there's no car, okay? That will not be professional, okay? I have to make sure that everything will be there, okay? Her purple leather seats are gonna be there, her boom box is gonna be there, her alloy rims, everything has to be ready, okay? So inventory control is keeping levels at a good level, but sometimes if you put too much inventory in restaurants, you're gonna have a lot of waste. In manufacturing, you're going to have parts that will not be used, that will get lost, that will be out of date, that would end up costing you money. And the opposite is that if you run out of inventory, it means that Grace may say, you know what, you've been pushing my buttons too long right now. I'm going to go to Honda and I'm going to buy the exact same car because Honda might have it available for me. Okay. So what does this mean? Okay, there was a problem here, and the problem was quality. All right. The purpose of a business is to generate profits through customer satisfaction. And if we cannot satisfy a customer, we have bad quality. And again, at school, you guys are serving the teachers. Okay, it's your one chance to show the teachers who gave you all these nasty marks, what you really mean. Okay, and it's good to understand that this also opens the door to telling me, did you enjoy learning online? Did you enjoy the interaction? Okay, and maybe we're the best school, and honestly, I've been to other schools, we are the best school, okay, but we continuously want to be better. Okay, so improvement can almost always be to increase efficiency, reduce costs, and improve customer service and satisfaction. But everyone in the company, including me, you, people, opening our schools, everyone in the company is constantly on the lookout for things to do better. Okay, so there has to be an employee involvement here. Okay, it's the responsibility of every employee involved to make it better. Okay, so if, for example, online classes are good, you like it, but it's hard to follow, what can I do to mass produce this product that you guys will like? Okay, and here's a problem, guys. Okay, the problem here is that it cannot satisfy everybody. Okay, and it becomes a problem. Maybe the problem here is that having 40 students in the class makes the feelings really hard. And what we can do is that if we cannot do something good, we do something called outsourcing. Okay, and everything in the world almost is outsourced. Okay, sometimes workers are outsourced. Okay, so there may be temporary workers when demand goes up. Even companies that do what we call pure services, which is very similar to, of course, a pure service can be education or consulting, advisory. They still need to outsource a lot of their items. Okay, they need internet, they need to buy computers, technology, resources. They're outsourced. Okay, and a lot of companies do outsource. Okay, and even in manufacturing, when you look at a company like Toyota or Ford, they do a lot of outsourcing. Okay, they do not produce all the parts. When you look at a car, for example, there's literally thousands upon thousands of small bolts, nuts, screws, wires that we don't make in-house. Okay, and when you look at the name of the Ford manufacturing plant, the Toyota manufacturing company, this company puts it together. Okay, they literally put it like Lego. All right, so they would buy components, for example, when we talked about Grace's amazing car. I need blue dye. And in order for me to get blue dye, I cannot just, cook it together. I need to outsource it. And there's companies in the GTA, in Canada, that actually have dyes that is needed to make and customize, mass customize, wink, wink, mass customize Grace's car. Okay. Same thing with the letter, same thing with her boombox. Okay. And the problem here is that if we cannot satisfy the demand here, what occurs is that there could be a problem. Customers will not be satisfied, employees will be demotivated, and our improvement will be low. Okay. And that's why I mentioned when we have technology, for example, I will approach another company and tell the company specifications of what I need. Okay. The inch and the width and the specifications that the radio is needed on the car, and that company will look at it and convert it, okay, so that they will work with me and satisfy the demand of the car. Okay. All right. So with that being said, that's all for our class. Okay. And with that also being said, that's all for our semester. Okay. 2-in-1 deal. But now let's, guys, we're not done yet. Okay. We have a couple of things on the go. Next week, guys, as I mentioned, for those in 003 class, okay, we have back-to-back in-class tests. Okay. The in-class test will be test number 1 on Monday in class next week, and then test number 2 on Wednesday. I wrote Thursday by chance, sorry, I apologize. Wednesday, test number 2. Okay, so that means that you need to be in class for both of them. Okay, I will be available and I will be monitoring the test online, but please make sure to be in class. Okay, you don't have to be in Zoom, but you have to go on the portal. Okay, on East Daniel, you have to go on it, and the goal here is that you will have to make sure that you attend and you utilize the time in class to do the test. Okay, there should be no excuses. Okay, no ifs, hows, or buts. You must be prepared. You must test out your technology, and you're only given one try. So please make sure you will do it. Okay. So I just want to reaffirm what we have for next week, guys. Okay. If you look at our monitor right now, and I'll show you it very, very shortly. You guys are 003. Okay. I'm going to look at the content and I'll show you exactly what we are going to be doing. Okay. So if you look down here. Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yes, Professor.
Thank you. Okay. So what's going to happen? Yes. Perfect. Okay. So this right now is week 14. Okay. I've given you guys, because last class I realized that number 1, we had a Zoom issue. Number 2, we had Easter Monday, and I respected it for everybody. So I've given you guys last class's video. So if you click on it, there's a link. It's on YouTube, and you can watch it. Now, the final discussion is a participation reflection. It's a submission, and all of this is your opinion. That's it, your opinion. Okay. Hello, students. For your final discussion activity, I would like to make you guys I would ask you to make a maximum 1 page. That's it. 1 page. Simple sentences. Reflection of your class experience at BUSN119. Let me know the themes. Okay, you can talk about all of them or one of them. What did you take away from the class? What did you enjoy from our class? Why did you feel the class has improved your business knowledge? What you like most about the class? What you least like about the class? And what would you like to see being done to improve the class? And the way I want you to formulate this question is think like an operation management. Okay, what can I do in the 4 hours that we're together every single week? What can I do to make this class much better? Okay, so I want you guys to formulate it for me and submit it, okay? And I'm gonna give you a sneak peek of what we need to do in week 15, okay? So once you come to week 15, we're gonna have test number 1, okay? I'm gonna set it up for you guys. Test number 1 is gonna be in week 15, and test number 1 is going to be a lockdown browser. So this one is gonna be a multiple choice true and false test, okay? I will give you time in class to complete it, okay? And then the final test, part number 2, okay? I believe there's no lockdown browser for it, but it's an essay question, and I'll tell you the essay, what's on it on the day of, okay? It's 2 essay questions, okay? One will focus on operation management and unions. The other will focus on management and leadership and human resources. So it's all about our class, okay? It's required that you apply some of it, okay? And you can use the textbook or the ebook if you'd like, okay? But please make sure to submit it and get it to me. So basically, I'm gonna highlight this. This one is Monday. This one is on, this one is going to be on Wednesday, and then you're done. Okay? Any questions? Anything I can add here, guys? So again, guys, what is due? I would say 4 things. Discussion. This is due. Okay, this is due on April the 21st, but you can finish it until April 23rd, but please complete it on time because you don't want to lose marks. That's 1. Number 2, you have the back-to-back test. And the first thing you have is the venture group, and then you're done. Okay? Any questions? Anybody? This is the time to speak your minds. Anything I can help you guys? Going once? Going twice? Going 3 times? Is everybody clear? Can I get a thumbs up on it? At least? Thumbs up? Is it everything clear? Good.
Yes,
Edward. Okay,
thank you.
perfect. Okay. Well, if everything's clear, guys, I'm excited. Okay, you're almost done. I'm looking forward to hear from you. I'm looking forward to some of you guys pushing me on the hallway, saying, "Hey, you were my teacher. Let's push him over." Just don't push me on the guardrails. I got injured last time. But say hi to me if you see me in campus. And as always, guys, next week I will be here. So if you want, and you're not getting attendance for it, but if you would like to come to our class, if you have any problems, the class is still open. Okay, I'm just there monitoring you guys. Okay, I will not be live, but I will be available. Okay. All right. Well, I guess for all good things must come to an end. Thank you so much, the group of 003, 018. I wish you guys all the best. I can't wait to see you guys. By the way, guys, I teach mostly supply chain. Okay, so if you are ever in supply chain, international business, you and I may have another date in the future. But nonetheless, of course, I wish you guys all the best. Good luck. You picked an amazing college, amazing faculty, amazing everything. You're in the right place. And I wish you guys all the best. Take it easy, guys. And if you guys have any questions, I'll be here till 12. If not, guys, sayonara, have a good one, and get those marks going. I wish you guys all the best. Make it happen, make it real. And oh, by the way, the test number 1 is very similar to the midterm, okay? So same kind of format, you should be fine. And I will talk about it on a email, or I will bring it up to you guys by Sunday, okay? All right, guys. So long, guys. I wish you guys all the best. Thank you so much for being my first semester teaching at your school. I'm ecstatic, out of my words here, and I wish you guys all the best. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Margie. Thank you, Egbert Guerrero. Thank you so much, and Gion Kana. Thank you, and Josh. Wish you all the best. Take it easy, and see you guys later. Bye for now. You too. All the best. James, my pleasure. All right, we're done for today. Grace, you had a question? Grace? Yay, Grace. And of course. What's up?
Just a moment, you mentioned that, and I take a screenshot and plan for next week. So the time is in class is test 1, right? Test 1.
They're both in class.
Yes, yep.
In class is the first test is Monday. The second
Monday.
test is gonna be on Thursday. But they're not open at the same time.
Oh,
I
yes.
will when I open it for you guys, it's gonna show you week 15. And week 15, you're only gonna see the first one, and then the second one will pop up on Wednesday.
Okay, so
And Grace, if you need assistance, I will be here in class.
okay. So next week we have a 2 test, right?
That's correct. Monday and Wednesday.
Oh, Monday and Wednesday. But here you write Thursday.
I know, and I mentioned to you guys that I wrote by accident, and I mentioned Wednesday.
Okay, gotcha.
Right,
Okay.
so my Wednesday, Thursday, 10 minutes to models.
Yeah. So Professor, may I ask, text 1 and text 2, in-class test is a short test, right? What the style about the test?
Test number 1 is multiple choice and true and false. Test number 2 is an essay with 2 questions.
Okay. So when we take the test, like the test 1, we can search the ebook, right? We can.
Well, I wouldn't recommend it because it's a lockdown browser, so you have a limitation. Okay, but I do recommend that if on test number 2 you need information, you should, and hopefully you could be able to access some of the other areas altogether.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good? Okay. All right, good luck, all the best, and I wish you a good one. Anyone else? Everybody's good? Thank you so much, guys. You as well. All the best.